Hello everyone, meteorologist Jordan Dearensberg here. Good evening, happy Saturday evening. I know it's a little weird for me to be here this evening, but the homie Grace Thornton has taken the afternoon off, so you're stuck with your boy right here, and I'll be on tomorrow morning on KV News Weekend Daybreak with more updates on your forecast. But right now, we're going to take a look outside, and let's take a look at that Zach Theater weather camera because it is looking really stunning. And I sometimes like to call this the Slay All Day weather camera for that particular reason, because we are tracking pretty much a really nice sight across the region. But let's take a look at what we're tracking as well. A few storms kind of possible for tomorrow, but we're going to be getting a little bit on that dusty side as we head through next week, especially with that Saharan dust coming in from the Gulf as a result of that very strong wind up on the upper levels in North Africa. That's pushing quite a bit of that in our direction. But we'll also have another early look at your 4th of July holiday for those who missed it during our regular newscast. But right now we're looking at temperatures mostly in those low to mid 90s. The airport at 92, Camp Mabry checking in at 94 as well. Our hottest spots right now, Georgetown and Atlanta checking in at 95. Mostly lower 90s though across the rest of Central Texas. Now let's talk about how hot we got today. That's going to be a very key component. Our high for today was 98, so we did not hit the triple digits, and that is tragically short of our record of 106 set back in 2013. I mean, that was a very toasty afternoon. Quick look at our calendar, because if you've noticed, we don't see any triple digits on here. And that's because there were some periods, especially on the second full week of June, where we had 3 days below normal, part of 4 for the entire month. We were above average most of the month. Let's go ahead and let's establish that, but not quite hot enough to hit the triple digits, which, by the way, last time that happened, May 14th. So the last time we have had no triple digit heat in June was 2019, but honestly, we will take it. Okay, let's go ahead and get that straight. Allergy count, grass and weeds in the low, hickory low, mold was medium, so it's kind of backtracked a little bit from this morning when it was in the high count. You can find this allergy count each and every day on KVU.com and the KVU app. Later on tonight, getting down to the upper 70s here locally, low to mid 70s in our outlying areas. Some of our cooler spots along I-35 and in the metro are going to be in Hayes County. So places like San Marcos as well as Wimberley and Dripping Springs, maybe even Lakeway and Lago Vista getting down to those lower 70s in western Travis County. Now for tomorrow, mid 90s here locally again, similar to what we might have today, although we predicted it for earlier this morning and we got up to 98. Now mostly mid 90s for areas along I-35 and in the Austin metro as well. A lot of that has to do with that moisture. More moist air means less chance to really heat like we want to. So hourly storm chances are another thing we're watching, especially between 3 and 5 o'clock. The chances are only at around 20%, but they're chances nonetheless. So you want to make sure you keep an eye out into the sky, especially as we head through early Sunday afternoon. But Sunday morning, starting off with a mix of sun and clouds before we do have a little bit more of that moisture making its way through. This is at around 2:30. This is where I'm thinking the peak daytime heating is going to be getting to those mid 90s here area wide. But then again, as we head through around 5 o'clock, that's when that outflow slowly makes its way through, and we could have a few of those scattered showers and storms. Now, quick friendly reminder that this radar is not going to be exactly looking like this at 5 o'clock. So anyone in Central Texas, especially if you're along and east of I-35, that's going to be fair game for some of those storms that will be popping up. Now, over the next 5 days, we're tracking Tuesday being our hottest day, getting to around 98, where we got to today. And then Thursday, we'll be getting down to around 96. But Friday, that is the 4th of July, and it is going to be quite hot. Also a little hazy as well, because we have another round of Saharan dust that is on its way, in addition to the rounds we're expecting for the beginning portion of next week. So definitely want to make sure you're staying hydrated or being in some water while you are at the barbecue, and also maybe even paddleboard by the lake to see those fireworks, because I hear that's really, really good. I've never done it, and unfortunately I won't be able to do that because I'm going to be in here tracking the latest forecast for the next weekend. Now, as we head through Monday and Tuesday, Those look like our two highest days for Saharan dust over the next 5, but we're tracking another plume that'll make its way through central Texas by the time we get to early in the middle of the day on the 4th of July. There it is, high count for Saharan dust on Tuesday, medium for Monday and Wednesday. So beginning in middle of next week, that's going to be our watch points for those who have chronic lung conditions. You want to make sure that you are taking it easy outside and limiting your outdoor exertion. Now, upper 90s for Tuesday, and then also 4th of July. Speaking of upper 90, Austin FC next Saturday. Hopefully they find some balls in the upper 90 later on next week, because I know they haven't had the best run of form of late, but they're slowly trying to get it together. That's still a week out, though, temperature-wise, so we're going to continue to track that very closely. But by and large, expect a very hot and dry next week after a few of those scattered storm chances for tomorrow. Now, when we're talking about rainfall totals, we're not going to see necessarily a whole lot. These are just light showers that we could be expected for tomorrow, and they're going to be pretty few, and they're going to be pretty far between. So not a lot going on. Let's see who else is on. I know David offered. Thank you very much. My pleasure. He's literally the only one talking. So Trey McElwain says, bring the rain. Does rain... Okay, so Trey, I got a question. Is that rain dance the boots on the ground? I think it should be boots on the ground. You should try the boots on the ground dance. And David Alford, you're right. We do need some more rain. There wasn't a whole lot of change in the drought monitor from this week to last week. Just a little bit of an extension of the severe drought into sections of Caldwell County for us locally. And that was about it. But anyways, yeah, I know while we're on the subject of boots on the ground, this 7-day forecast may have you wondering where them fans at, because you're going to be needing them if you're sitting outside in some of these hot temperatures. So definitely going to be a hot next 7 days. Could have a few light showers, of course, for your Sunday. And then, okay, Trey said boots on the ground. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it. But yeah, that's basically... If anyone has any more questions, I'll take a little bit to answer a couple more of your questions before we call it. Right now, time is 7:02. Okay, I'm more of a coffee drinker, David, to answer your question. I think the reason David asked that question is because he sees the KVU mug sitting right here on the desk. I love to have a KVU mug sitting right here to kind of show our branding a little bit more. So to answer your question, David, it's definitely coffee for me. So that was so... Ricky said, I wish it would rain down. Me too, man. Me too. But unfortunately, no. All right. So let's see. Anyone else? Going once. Going twice. David said, I love the KV mug. LOL. Yeah. Oh, Trey's asking to allergies were up something fierce, something in the air. Okay, let me pull the allergy up one more time in the boxes here to kind of show y'all what was going on. Our latest allergy count had weeds in the low, grass in the low, hickory in the low, and mold in the medium. So it probably, Trey, was mold based on our sensor. Let's see. Anyone else? Doesn't look like we have anyone else here saying a few things. So what we're going to do is I will be back on KVU at 10, as well as not just on air on KVU at 10, but also on KVU Plus, if you're watching me there, on our website, kvu.com, if you're watching there, the KVU app, if you're watching there, and that's definitely where we will see all of our weather updates, as well as our news updates as well on kvu.com, the KVU app, or KVU Plus. We're going to have all the details coming up at 10, but for now, thank y'all so much for joining us, and we will see you then.